If you overreact, folks, remember to do that. Don't overreact. And when you get mad, it's your problem. It ain't your wife's problem, your husband's problem, your neighbor, your friend, your preacher, your teacher. It's your problem. Why you think you tick? It didn't go your way or the way you think it should go. Don't have a way you think it should go. Let life just happen. Thoughts make you think that life should go the way you want it to go. And if it doesn't, if someone don't do or say or act the way you think they should act, you hate them. And then you blame them for being mad. It's the darndest thing I ever seen. But it's amazing to see it. So relax. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married. And the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's His nature. You can't run from evil within yourself or outside of self. You got to deal with it. And you need good in order to deal with evil. And God is good. You need to return to the Father. And you'll see within you, He will fight the battle for you. And He will fight it without, because He will show you how to deal with it. And you will have no fear. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your might, along with nothing else. Nothing else means yourself, your children, your wife, your things, your ego, your reputation, and all that. You can't care about any of that. The children of anger will use it to control you. But if you love God, He will renew your mind, and none of those things will be before Him. And so when they go after you, oh, well, you may take my body, you may take my things, but you're not going to take my soul. And that's a true reality. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home.
That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border. And then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on America's soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thank you for tuning in on this fine Tuesday. It's a pleasure to be back with you today. What a fine Tuesday it is to be back, and it's nice to see you in the chat, okay? Let me welcome all my folks here as we get situated, as we're monitoring the situation, as you know how it goes, okay? Things heating up. I mean, look, it's like Iran's in the news again, and maybe people were like aware of this, but for the rest of us, it just seemed to hit the news, and it's like, okay, Trump's like, okay, hey, Iran protesters, we're on our way. Look, there's a number of things to get into today. I'm welcoming my folks here on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby, and of course here on YouTube. Mods in the chat. What's up, cuz? What's up, everybody? Nice to see you. Okay, be in your best behavior. Come on in, say hello. We got plenty to talk about. Calls to take if you got something on your mind. That's 888-775-3773. A burning question, topic you want to bring up. And of course, all of you here, we'll get to your super chats and all that. Buymeacoffee.com/Anchor Baby. Welcome, everybody. And what else was I going to say here? Look, welcome, all of you. How's your day? Thank you so much for that. Daniel's son, caring about my day. What did I say there? So a number of topics to get into. Your calls, your super chats. That's right. I almost forgot. Don't be rude. I see you. You're like, he doesn't see me. You're like, I don't have to show decorum. Someone else will show decorum. You're like, I don't have to put that back in its place. Someone else will. I'm just one guy. I'm just one person. What's it going to change if I litter a little bit here? Don't put my shopping cart back there. Don't click the like button. I'm just one guy. So you hate America. You hate society. You hate Trump. Or you click the like button. I mean, you have two choices. It's up to you. But I appreciate you being here. Make sure you leave a little comment. Say hello. Don't be rude. Show some decorum. Because we got a couple of things to get into, okay? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Topics that we kind of been bringing up, that have been going on right this week, last week. Venezuela, Iran, what's going to happen with that? Domestic issues, racism, DEI, white, affirmative action against whites, racism against whites, the loss of their country, etc. Well, ICE, the shooting, ICE raids, immigration, etc. On some of these topics, there's some, we actually got an extended interview with Trump that, I don't know, maybe some people have been talking about it, but kind of went under my radar. I saw it in the news. I was reading some of it, because New York Times provided a whole transcript. It's like a 2-hour interview with New York Times. He expands on a number of these situations going on, so it lends to us a couple of interesting things. Since I saw it myself, I was reading it. I'm going to show you a couple of these things. It's interesting. We really got somebody there watching out for us. Just pulling up my thing here. Anybody ever get issues with archive.is? Did it ever go down? I need you. There was a part of the interview that I want to highlight first, because we'll get back to Venezuela, Iran, and the things going on, right? But he made some commentary on something domestic here. Okay, let me see. Let me see my Revolver article works. Yeah, because all these archive.is articles are not working. Okay, so we're talking about civil rights here. Let me pull up the Revolver one. Okay. You guys got your stuff together, right, Revolver? Come on. Check it out. You're familiar with civil rights, right? I'm sure you are. So, look, he has this 2-hour-long interview. At one point, they get into civil rights. Civil rights era, right? The 1960s Civil Rights Act, from the 60s. He's in there saying the truth. He's saying the truth of the matter. Something that's always necessary, something that's always appreciated, but rarely done. And you've had all sorts of conservatives and people speak on unfairness, lack of merit, racism against whites. But, civil rights, racism, it was still a good thing they did because it was racist. It was wrong, right? Blacks were treated like they were just terribly treated by the most evil people. Like, that's only like that. It's black and white like that. I didn't mean to do that. And he's saying like the civil rights protections resulted in white people being treated very badly. And even in this interview, he does the whole, but it was for a good reason or etc. It accomplished some very wonderful things, as Trump put it. But it also hurt a lot of people, he says quickly right after. And, I don't really see that. That's why I always appreciate him, because on these things like civil rights, the border, a number of things, we could go down the list. He has opened the door to from what I've gathered, I've been watching this whole rodeo for like a decade plus, and, it's easy to gather that even something like, the civil rights, when you started that off, you actually started a campaign against white people, and look at where we are. It seems something that seems like you couldn't say probably since, like, truly really like bring up maybe earlier on with like senators and politicians, maybe well before us, but once that era ended and those people were gone, it seems like you haven't been able to even touch the topic, right? So on a lot of these things, he's just totally opened the door, and even just thinking about it and just daring to even consider it. So yeah, he just brings up in the thing he brings up like current examples about the universities and the reverse discrimination against whites, and he's explicit about it and how white people were very badly treated. They did extremely well. They were not invited to go to university or college. And there was more in the New York Times thing, but yeah, this is all I'm getting. Look, Elon Musk. Let's blame him again. Who's running archive.is? I just had this open. But you get the whole point here. Speaking on it in a truthful way, so we appreciate it for that. There's a number of other things he got into here, Venezuela, and all that. But what else about this? Look, he just said it. Look, he just freaking said it. Okay. And that's the whole right, the civil rights thing. They call it DEI now. That goes back to that original mistake, that original lie. Okay, because it's like all day that you'll never get someone just speaking about a situation as it really is. They'll say, well, you shouldn't be racist to white people, but this nation does have a historic sin, an original sin, an original sin. Well, whatever that was, it's gone, and then they did this 1960 Civil Rights Act and basically said, now let's do it to white people, which that's not even a fair characterization. They ended slavery and all that, but I appreciate it, right? He called it out. It was wrong, it didn't become wrong. It was wrong from the beginning. It was an assumption of sin in others. Oh, there's disparate outcomes for blacks and whites because of an assumption of racism, an assumption of sin like that. You see how evil that is? It was wrong from the get-go. So that was something that passed by. That was just like, what, a couple days ago, really. Sunday. It was on Sunday. Number of things, like he got it to Venezuela, and he said, look, the oversight of Venezuela, let's see if this pulls up. Do I have the highlights? This at least works. Oh, no, wait, but that's the one that's... If I remember, look, in the summary on the oversight of Venezuela, as this hopefully loads, we might be entangled in Venezuela, as he said, for a while. I don't know what that even means. Yeah, see, look at this. Not loading, but I don't know exactly what that means. I'm not going to sit here like, oh, well, I wouldn't get entangled like that, Mr. President. Like, I'm not running things like that. It's on our side of the world. Let's own it. And that we just don't know what that means. But there was another thing on a criticism of an ICE raid, but it's okay. It's not that important. This is not really that important, okay? We really will move on, but he did mention on some of the things that are going on now, so we'll just move on from that. Look, one of the things is Iran. At least 1,850 protesters reported killed in Iran as Trump says help is on its way. It's on its way. Wait, are bombs incoming? What's going on? U.S. President Donald Trump has canceled meetings with Iranian officials, encouraged protesters to keep demonstrating, saying help is on the way. Amid a brutal crackdown by Tehran's regime, at least 1,850 have been killed. It's, of course, unclear what that means. But they're telling Americans to evacuate.
CNN's Paula Hancock
from
is
Iran
live in Abu Dhabi. She joins us now. So, Paula, as President Trump
Look at it, it's always there were just women everywhere reporting this, telling you what's going on. Evacuate from Iran. They declined to clarify the help comment. Help is on its way. Keep the fog of war. Keep them guessing. You're going to have to figure that one out. I'm sorry, Trump responded when asked to explain the meeting. Yeah. Fog of war. Sorry, buddy. But it would be a good idea for Americans to evacuate from Iran, though he did not provide any additional details. And he's telling them to keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Revolutionary Trump. Down with the Islamic regime. But it's like a developing situation, folks. So don't know what it'll turn into. I see your super chats. I'll see all of you. I'll get to you. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you so much for the support. Hey, right on. What's up, Rumble? Thank you. Help is on its way. So I wanted to thank Skip Log here and Lydia Chin. A couple of supporters here. That's very kind. I appreciate that. Thank you, Skip. With a huge super chat says, here's a little bunker fortifications and supply funds hand. Keep it spiffy and tight. Chew. You know what is chew? Is that just like a exclamation? I never did know what that was. Chew. Just like a sound, like an onomatopoeia. Thank you, Skip. I appreciate that. Lin Yan Chin, man, coming in strong. How you doing, sir? Says, your hair. He's shocked. Maybe he hasn't seen me in a bit. That's true, man. My guy, the curls blacksmith, like a blacksmith, but more feminine, will be available next week. So we're looking like this. I don't know. Romeo says, your hair, exclamation, question mark. Your hair, is that soul glow? Needs more sparkle. Did you help Lord Goodhair, a.k.a. Yakub, when he designed the first white? No. I was one of his golems. Lin Yan Chin. How you doing, Lin Yan Chin? Nice to see you, man. One of his early flawed golems. Calls coming in. We'll get to everybody. 888-775-3773. Things going on in the world. He mentions, oh, you know what's one thing he mentioned? This is kind of like sillier. It was a good way to pivot away from this. Is it just this browser? Is it Yahoo? What is this? Just load. He was talking about obesity drugs. You know that like Wegovy, GLP-1 stuff. What's the other one? Ozempic. They asked him if he was on like weight loss drugs. He said no. He said maybe I should be, acknowledging maybe a corpulence in Donald Trump. Okay. Maybe that's why he breathes like that sometimes. But he tries to keep it. He tries to keep it tight, whatever. And he's like, "No, I'm not on them. I'm not on them." And it made me think I literally just read this thing on that drug. Okay, it slows down your like digestive system. That's crazy. So every archive article is not going to work, folks. That's okay. That's okay. But I could probably find it. They were calling it food noise. They were like discovering something about this drug. And the scientists were just like, guys, there's something deeper to all this. Let's see if I can find it. And they're like, we're discovering that these drugs, what they're doing, they're suppressing something in the brain that we're calling food noise. Man, it's actually, it's maybe just interesting to me. Man, where is it? I silenced the food noise. And so basically the scientists are discovering, they're like putting together brain scans of people on this stuff and how people off of it, they get like something, they get the brain scans, they go off when they get hungry and they get those impulses they can't control, and that's why they're so fat. And then they take the Ozempic stuff and those impulses are like suppressed in something. They're calling it food noise. I'm like, oh, wow. Wow, the scientists are discovering thoughts. They're discovering thoughts. Yeah, Maina, food noise as in hunger, and so they're like, there's nothing in the medical world, at least for some. Maybe it's like an older thing. It's kind of gone. Now the younger generation are just so material. There's nowhere in the thinking that it's like, wow, to them it's a food noise that must be suppressed with drugs. You understand? It's a food noise, a disease that must be suppressed with drugs, as opposed to you're evil. You're weak. You're evil and weak. You're evil and weak. And it's like the moment you get an itch, you scratch that. There's no space between you and that itch. There's no space. And you have no desire in working on that. Zero. You never even thought about that. You become an animal. That's how an animal thinks. And God's like, you weren't supposed to be an animal. And then you're like, you don't even hear that voice. Yeah, that's a very different kind of worldview, right? Food noise. How about work on yourself, man? What the? No. Give me the drug. Just suppress the brain, doctor. It was an interesting article. I'm going to let it load. I bet you it'll come back. But for now, I want to get to Daniel out of Arizona, man. I appreciate your call. You're on the air.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Nick. How you been, man?
All is well, Daniel.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I called in.
Yeah, it's been a while, man. Right on. How you been? Are you on speakerphone or headset?
Oh, my bad. Is that better?
Way better.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, no, I was just going to call in for the Iran thing, but I think you got me more interested in the Ozempic.
Oh, for real? That was a good one? That was a good segment, huh? Okay, yeah. Got you thinking a bit?
Yeah, it's crazy because, I don't know if you saw the news of this. It was the sister of an actress that she got, extremely ill. She ended up at the hospital having, seizures.
She was who?
She was a sister of an actress. I can look up her name if you'd like me to.
Sister of an actress that fell ill, essentially.
Yeah, she fell ill because she was pretty much abusing Ozempic.
Oh, no, I had not heard about that.
Yeah. She pretty much started having seizures. Like she couldn't hold down food or water. She was just vomiting all over the place.
Oh, is that so? Yeah, Kate Moss's little sister or something like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Terrible.
That's the
So
one.
what? So she just like was using it way too much, or was she
Yeah.
using it as directed, and it became an issue?
Issue that most people, they just abuse it and they don't even like get it from. So I heard people that just like go to Mexico just so they could get Ozempic because they won't need a prescription.
Is that so? I mean, it's so weird too because you'd think like a celebrity. I mean, this is like you can get this prescribed. I mean, it's something you could definitely just get.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be prescribed, right? And it's supposed to be like low doses.
Mhm.
But even then, if you don't take care of yourself properly, you'll lose like up to 40% of your lean muscle.
You'll lose what? Up to what? 40% of your lean muscle.
Yeah, so even if you like, they say they prescribe it to you, right?
Yeah.
But you're not like taking care of yourself, eating like a lot of protein because you need to eat a bunch of protein, or doing weight exercises, just anything
You
to
need
keep
to
you
be
really
stimulating that because your body's going to just start shedding it all off. You need to tell it, hey, keep the muscle low, keep as much as you can, keep the stuff I'm using. You don't use any of it, you just wither away.
Exactly. That's pretty much it. You're just withering away with it.
And you're messing with your metabolism. It's this stuff is literally like slowing down your metabolism. Like people with digestive issues, they lose all that weight because they're just not getting nutrients. You can eat, but you will not get the nutrients in time.
Yeah, that's literally right. And it's scary that it's becoming so like widely used when it's such a brand new drug and we don't even know the consequences like 5 years into it or 10 years into it.
Oh, little Nick is on screen. Hold on. You know, that's almost like not even surprising to me too, because it seems like a new thing hits the scene and the ego of man, they'll go right for it. Then in years comes down the time, years pass, and then you have the commercials where do you have blah blah blah? Did you vape? It's like vapes are a new thing. Do you have do you have destroyed lungs? Did you vape in the years of blah blah blah? Call us now. You may be eligible to like for a lawsuit or something, right?
Right.
So I mean, I'm not even surprised at that. With that stuff there, right? Like GLP-1 and how they're
I wouldn't even be surprised if like in 5 years we start seeing those ads come out for Ozempic. Because when you look at these people, they just look so unhealthy. Even though they lose fat and whatever, you just see like you're saying, like your body just somehow like withers away, and it just looks so unhealthy. Like I don't know if you like seen that some vegan people and they look like pure bone. This is how Ozempic people look.
I gotcha. Yeah, you mean you're messing with the little the fine-tuned dance there, of your metabolism. It's a thing. It doesn't take much to tip the scale this way or that way. It's just a matter of consistency on which side of the scale, and you'll see results.
Right.
You tip your scale to the weight loss, like at a constant rate. Most people, they don't work out. They don't do anything. They wither away. You gotta be like actually working out those muscles when you're catabolic like that. But yeah, man. What do you think about the? What were you going to say about Iran, or did you have something else to say here, real quick?
Yeah. So I was just gonna. Don't get me wrong. I love Trump, man, but I do not want to go to Iran to another war, man. It's because it's not going to be Afghanistan. Afghanistan was so broken down. You had multiple militia, but when you're going to Iran, it's like you have a central government that's really enforced.
Yeah.
It's not like just the little militias that like you can take care of them with a couple bombs. Like no, this is a central government that has bombs to respond with.
Fair enough, man. I don't know what to think. I trust Trump. It's like I have I'll be honest on what I don't know. Right on that, I cannot be like confident. I don't think I have to be, but I mean, look, I trust. So on Trump, I'm like confident that I trust him, right? But I also know like we have like a nice scenario here on this side of the world with some distance between us. We can definitely ignore that side a bit. It's what I've come to realize a little bit. I just don't know how deep it goes.
Yeah, I'm with you. I trust him. I just hope that we just don't make another mistake and just end up in a pointless, like keep spending war that just doesn't end.
Yeah, as here's one thing though. The foot. What's the word? Does the foot drop or does the hammer drop? I'm an anchor baby. Okay, the foot hasn't dropped, right?
Right.
The foot hasn't dropped. It's like the story hasn't been written yet. We're watching it all kind of unfold. So Trump's a surprising guy. It's like, oh, is it gonna be war in Venezuela forever? It's like boom, in and out.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
So
people are crying about like
yeah,
war.
that's one thing we can agree on. The foot hasn't dropped, or so to speak, or however you say. It's a developing situation. But that's it. Yeah, I gather it's not a light thing. Just war with Iran. But anyways, Daniel, sir, still got you there?
Yeah, that would be all, man. Thank you.
Can you call me again, man?
Sounds good. Have a good day.
For sure. Thank you. 888-775-3773. What are y'all saying in the chat? One in the chat for war with Iran. 2, no. 1 in the chat for Iran don't want no smoke. 2 in the chat for no mas. Never again. We're going to leave it up to mass democracy on this one, okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it up to, if you look under your chairs, there's a little button, there's a little box, 2 buttons, like a TV show. Like what? Then they do that kind of stuff, the TV audience, and they have like a remote. We're going to let the audience choose. Everybody, primetime address. If you look in your mail, you have a little remote with 2 buttons. War with Iran or no. We're going to leave it up to the audience. Pete Head says, watching the Knit stream chat with bated breath. Yeah, everybody's staying out of it. There's nobody voting. Nobody's voting. Some of you are war hawks. So, food noise is on my mind. I find that funny. But there's also these girls on my mind. Girls. I got girls on my mind. These girls. And they're not women. They're babies. They're girls. Okay? I'm just a girl.
Okay.
I'm just a girl. Leave me alone.
Why are you
go to jail too.
harassing
Now you're
us?
recording. Okay, good job.
Why are you doing
I'm trying
this?
to give you a warning.
I'm a girl.
I'm trying to give you a warning, okay?
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You keep following us, you're going to end up like him. You're going to get arrested. Okay?
Okay.
I'm a girl.
Are they with you?
I don't know who that is.
If she's crying, she's lying.
Go to jail
guys
too. Now
harassing
you're
us.
recording.
Why
Okay,
are you guys harassing?
good job.
Why are you doing
I'm trying
this?
to give you a warning.
I'm a girl.
I'm trying to-
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You keep following us, you're going to end up like him. You're going to get arrested. Okay?
Okay.
Go home. Are
Okay.
they with you?
I don't know who that is.
I'm a girl. Sassy. This is like a murderer. You know what I mean? That's like the perfect murderer. I'm a girl. I'm not I'm not a perpetrator. I'm a victim. I'm just a girl officer. You guys like that one?
I'm telling you.
Oh,
I'm
why
trying,
are you
to, I'm
doing
trying
this?
to give you a warning.
I'm a girl.
trying to give you a warning, okay?
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
You keep following us, you're going to end up like him. You're going to get arrested. Okay?
Okay.
Go home. Are
Okay.
they with you?
I don't know who that is.
Wait, does she say it?
Okay, good job.
Why are you
I'm trying to give you
You're
a
not
jail too.
harassing
Now you're
us.
recording. Okay, good job.
Why are you
I'm trying to give you a warning.
I'm a girl.
trying to give you a warning.
Is she Latina? I'm a girl. The way she says girl. You know, it's like there's AIs are training to be better than me so far. We'll see if they're. I've yet to I'm just not up to date. They're probably training right now. But you know, right now the anchor babies, some of the best we have. You know, like I get I hear the voice. I just hear like a little bit of accent. Instantly, I get like a percentage in my head. It's like what ethnic, like rate, what, who, it's a Latina. What, and then we get like subsets here, you know, because I'm culturally educated / traumatized, right, from living in such close proximity to somebody. So, you know, I'm getting, when she said girl, I'm a girl. I'm like, it's like 67% Latina possibility, 67%. You know, and then, you know, it's like, okay, ice, anti-ice stuff. I don't know where this is. Looks a little cold. But yeah, you know, so we're giving it a good, like, strong chance Latina here, right? But the way she said girl.
I'm trying to give you a warning.
I'm a girl.
Trying to give you a
Yeah. Anyways, AI will soon surpass me. Nick, my ex texted me to get back together. How should I respond properly? That's a fair question. I'm not laughing too hard. I'm not laughing at you. You want to get back with her? Why are you asking me? How do I respond properly? Tell her, say, look at the text, and then go like this with your thumb, right? Like swipe up, put the messages app in the background, and then put down your phone and move on. That's just me. That's, you know, you got to know what to do. You got to know what to do. What the 888-775-3773. Why am I playing that? Oh, yeah. The girls. Yeah, I think that's enough. We got enough of her. Maybe one more time. Should we hear her say it one more time? She crazy like a Latina. Yeah. Girls. What the what's the word? Ego, the general look, what this is this like girl boss mentality. What? I'm just a girl. I'm not touching you. What? I'm not touching you. No accountability is now starting to claim lives of women. And they're playing games where there's no game to be played. You understand?
Go the fuck home! Get the fuck out of here! We hate you! Fucking please! Get the fuck out!
Cussing.
Fuck out of here! Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out of here!
You're way too old for that. You know. That arrest her. You can't do that. I don't even want to play her voice anymore. Someone take her megaphone. She's leading it. Oh, did she get pepper sprayed? And then it's no. You can't do that to me. I'm just protesting. It's my right to hit your window. Oh yeah, I think that's a pepper spray. Oh yeah, confirmed.
Move.
Well, you know this. You see the feminine spirit all over this. Like it's just that. You understand that whole thinking? this feminist spirit. It's like, that is the driver. They call it DI woke. They call it so many things. It is the order. It's like the spirit that hates order, and it comes through the woman. It's like a representative thing. Okay, you start thinking about individuals, you're gonna get confused. Okay, what the? They hate the rules. They hate the law. They really do. Now, what else was this? Oh, yeah. Let's do these quick because, you know, this ICE thing, we kind of been talking about it, right? So we'll do these quick. Like I said, I don't know what'll happen with these governors, et cetera. They're saying, no, we're not going to let ICE operate. We'll arrest them. Nothing's happening yet, so we're watching that. But do I want them? I mean, no, but it doesn't seem like it's reaching any heights of George Floyd. I mean, is there any need to crack down? I mean, it just remains to be seen. I just personally haven't seen any of those emotional highs like George Floyd. Although those that are out there, however large the crowd, however at times sparse looking, those that are there are increasingly like concentrated in their violence and tactics. They're quite over the top, ready to throw down, get in your face. Yeah, but that being said, you know, partly is part of the reason that there's not that emotional high to really activate the people to burn things down. Is it because she's white? You know, is it because Renee Good was white?
And I feel like I need to.
You know what I'm saying? She's a white lady. She had privilege, etc.
I've seen so many creators touch on this, and I feel like I need to add my 2 cents because say her name is for Black people. That was because y'all were not doing the things that y'all were supposed to do to cover these stories. Injustice was being served. So we were saying, say her name so you know exactly who it was. This was a person, this was a human. Now, this does not apply to this situation in Minnesota. This is not a say her name situation.
Did she really cut her hair short like this?
Justice, absolutely.
Turn this down, jeez. What is this content? Speed her up. Might as well throw in like a Minecraft compilation here. Put like a little Minecraft. Put some Fortnite. Put like a Fortnite compilation here. Put like an ASMR video here.
Her name, negative, partner, negative. And I almost feel compelled to also say, when we were saying to say her name, the masses that were not people of color, more specifically Black people, y'all were not saying the name.
Wait, what?
The solidarity out of nowhere is crazy to me. However, like, rest in peace to that woman. This is crazy, but say her name is for Black people.
We should always speak the names of victims regardless of who they are.
Wait, no, come on. No, we're done. No, we can't. We don't have the... How long is this? Who's granny glasses? I did not watch it this far. This guy's trolling, right?
Say Her Name is a movement started by Black women for Black women specifically, and it's not appropriate to use in regards to...
Give your grandma, give your aunt her glasses back. Where's the chain? There's a chain on the back of those, right? There's like one of those, right? What are those called? Not a chain. So she doesn't lose them.
Renee Good.
Hi, good morning. What happened to Renee Nicole Good is so important, and we absolutely need to be talking about that. She deserves a hashtag and everything. It should not be Say Her Name. Say Her Name is...
Getting killed on behalf of immigrants, and they still hate her. Yeah, man, Amanda gets it. Like, it's kind of the vibe here.
Preserved for Black women. Thank you.
Say Her Name is for Black women. It's for Black women. And maybe if you had fought harder for those Black women, we wouldn't be where we are today. But we did not fight harder for those Black women. So we will not be using Say Her Name.
Running through these links here. Let's run. I said faster. It's almost all too tiring, right? I shouldn't have an emotional response. This is the news we're reporting. Play the video. But let's move a little bit faster, okay? Mic check. I'm looking at my volume levels here. Hold on. Yeah, we've seen that. Thank you very much. We get it. You hate white people. It's always a grievance. Oh, yeah. This is why I was bringing this up. It reminds me. So I saw this lady speaking here, right? You remember her. Joy Reid, now independent and unleashed. As crazy as she was on MSNBC, or crazier, I don't know. Do you remember? I don't know if to those that remember, OGs that remember the Black Lives Matter protest riots here, that summer of love, as they call it, and the on the street, I forget, was it live? I think I did some of those live. I mean, I went out there to try and film some of this stuff. I think I went live and everything. And there was this refrain, if you guys remember, and I was bringing it up, once I heard it, I started asking others and seeing how they'd react. And honestly, they were like so easily manipulated. I mean, I heard the phrase, white bodies to the front, white bodies to the front, white bodies up front. They're in this standoff with law enforcement, LAPD or whatever. They got like riot shields. They got like pepper. They got like the beanbag stuff. There's people leaving the front, walking away, holding limbs, starting to bruise up from, usually deservedly, getting hit with a good beanbag somewhere. These beanbag shotguns they have, anti-riot stuff. And they're telling you, like, little white girls, they're like, white bodies to the front, white bodies to the front. I'm like using it on them. They're like, yeah, right away. I'm like, no, I'm just kidding. You don't think that's crazy? I'm trying to interview them. Like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Is he an infiltrator?
This woman.
I mean, it's just, that's what this woman's talking about here. White bodies to the front.
And was part of a group of people who they train to try to be ICE interrupters. And what they try to do is observe what ICE is doing, film them, and try to use their white privilege to.
Also, I don't know where she's getting this info from, but, I guess it's just like an uncontested thing. These protesters are getting trained by some groups she's talking about. So it's just like, we're just uncontested, right? They're just paid protesters.
Be honest, they're mainly white people,
which is what we ask.
Which is what we ask them to do, right?
Yeah,
because black people, like, we can't put our bodies on the line because cops will shoot us. And so the presumption had been, particularly a white woman, because remember, part of the rationale for doing this with ICE is to save white women, pristine white women, from being ravaged by, criminal brown men. So white women have been taking the lead in being the ones to step forward.
And then you'll die. And then you'll go out there, get all hyped up, act in the wrong way, get yourself killed, and then they'll say they'll use you in every which way. You won't get to speak for yourself. You're dead. They'll use you in every which way, and they'll still hate you. They'll still say her name. It's for black women. You guys are. She's white. Remember, white sucks. And they'll still hate you. And she died. She died for that. You know what I'm saying? She got the Dennis Rodman. Who said that? Dennis Rodman is crazy. Who said that first? Who said that first? Francisco. She got the Dennis Rodman. She got the Cisco. You know what I'm saying? Right? Down, 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 down. Isn't that's what I'm thinking of, right? Oh, you say with a Q. Cisco with a Q. Cisco. Dennis Rodman, you get it. Funny stuff, chat. Okay,
this woman was part of a
your
group.
Jokes. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Kind of related. Since I saved it, let's click it. white bodies to the front, white and brown bodies against Trump and ICE to the National Guard. Oh, that's right. This is another archive article. Let's see. See if I can find it. U.S. citizens are joining. U.S. citizens, National Guard. Okay, it was basically an article about like a National Guard recruiter asking people if they want to join to protect their family, to protect their illegals, against ICE and stuff like that. Let me see if I can save it. Which, wait, how can you... How is that allowed? U.S. citizens are joining the military to protect undocumented parents, and you see her. You're like, oh, yeah, our National Guard. Oh, yeah. Our National Guard is in a great position. Oh, can you do a pull-up? Does she have an army hat in her hands? Velasquez? Huh? Vasquez? Hey, Vasquez! Get that, Vasquez! Never mind. I'm not going to bother you. Don't sue me. U.S. citizens are joining the military to protect undocumented parents. Is that her tough look? Hey, Trump, hands off my abuela. So what? She refuses to learn English. Has been illegal for years. Goes back to Mexico a bunch, though. All the time. Has a property. So what, Trump? Hands off my abuela. You know, it's just somewhat interesting, too, in terms of ideological capture of institutions and stuff like that. You think about, like, the COVID shot. That was one of the more... That was when I kind of became aware of such a move, such a tactic. It seemed like all over, it became quite easy to discriminate without having to say what you're doing. If you're unvaxxed, you can't do this or that, be a cop, be this certain things. How do you change an institution that is like mostly, let's say, right wing, mostly men, mostly the kind of people that Democrats, anti-Christians, anti-Christian, for the status quo, loser Republicans, that they're what they're into. What was I saying? Yeah, how do you change such an institution like that, right? It's like they were given on a platter the vaccine thing. There are ways, you know. And this is just an attempt. I don't know how many people are going to get recruiting. I mean, can we jail that recruiter? Like, are you allowed to do that? Hey, join the National Guard to be up against another federal institution like ICE? What's going on here? And you get out of here. You should be in the National Guard. Excuse me. What is it? Vasquez. Like in Aliens, right? Hey, Vasquez. What's the line? She's like the tough female soldier in Aliens. Emasculating all the guys. We got Vasquez over here. People hate this one. You guys judge this one. You say it's silly. James Cameron, oh, it's just like, we're a bunch of soldiers, hup to kill the aliens. It's awesome, okay? It's freaking great. You don't know what you're talking about. All righty. That's the ICE stuff. I had all this stuff. Oh, Trump with his new justification. They're calling it a brand new justification. Let's see if we can even archive this one. Probably not. He's saying she disrespected. It was her disrespect that got her killed. Trump suggested Renee Good's highly disrespectful attitude toward law enforcement played a role in her fatal shooting by an ICE agent. That's just a fact. K-Mac gets it. You get it. People are Vasquez fans. Alien is better than Aliens, says Carver. Look, they're different. It's apples and oranges. It's, can we, so they're aliens for different occasions. They're really totally different beasts, okay? Of course, the classic, that classic tension of the Alien movie, that's just not in the second one. You guys are... We got a bunch of people who've watched this stuff. I can finally share a movie with people. See, I am an American. I know movies. Alien 3 is better than all. Chris, everybody shun Chris. Okay, all us regular people, we can continue having a conversation. Everybody laugh at Chris. Okay, let's keep it moving here. Oh, yeah, disrespect. That did get her killed. That's not, offensive. This guy really said that? Absolutely did a disrespect to authority, a disrespect to order, the things how it should be. Even if you're a person who is like a radical person against society, against America, you hate U.S. imperialism or something. You're like, down with them, death to America. There's a, what's the word is respect, okay? Like in a fight, you respect someone's ability to hurt you. It has nothing to do with support. Now, I'm pro-America, obviously. I'm not with these people at all. But I'm saying, look, her lack of respect got her killed. Even if you hated somebody, now I'm thinking of like combat, you would respect their reach, for example. Their destructive power, what weaponry they have. If you don't, it gets you killed. You don't think you're being arrested wrongfully. You better still respect that cop's authority there. Fight things in the regular courts and all that. But I hate the courts. I hate the whole system. What are you going to do, fight him? You're going to die. And so, as it should be. But anyways. No respect. Hating men. Got her killed. No respect to man's authority. Got her killed. I'm just checking out my chat. Chilling with my chat. Podcast listeners, okay? Chilling with the chat. On the aliens, okay. I liked Romulus. Yeah, were people criticizing that one? Romulus was nice. Aliens, Romulus. Jeez. Anyways, look. 888-775-3773. I want to get to all my calls. I want to get to all of you here. The last things I had here is that, are they going to, what's going to happen with a clash with ICE and states that are talking ish, right? We're going to arrest ICE. I don't know where you get off. Keith Ellison confirms there are no statute of limitations. They will investigate the ICE officer who shot Renee Good. after Trump leaves office if they have to.
And let's say nothing happens, right? The Trump administration conducts its investigation, says self-defense, no charges are warranted, excludes you all from the case file. You guys can't get an accurate investigation going. How do you ensure that this officer is held accountable if the evidence is there?
Well, you get it. He says there's no statute of limitations. We're going to do it anyways. I'm trying to move a little faster here. Oh, man. Attorney General of Minnesota, Keith Ellison. Pretty hateful dude, I gather. Radical thinking. Likes radical books. ICE is saying to Philadelphia Sheriff Rochelle Bilal. Look at this. This is a Philadelphia sheriff. Is that like a high? Is that like tantamount to what? Like some sort of police chief or something like that? She's the Philadelphia sheriff. Just look at her. ICE responds to Rochelle Bilal, who threatens to arrest federal immigration enforcement agents. Try it and see what happens. You know, a bunch of shots back and forth across the bow. Nothing's kind of going on, but who are you placing your bets on? The men and women of what? Is it fair to say what? DOJ? Who am I thinking of? U.S. Well, here it's ICE. Or Rochelle Bilal here. Let's take a good look. Who are you placing your bets on? On who's gonna chicken out first? So yeah, try it and see. They're suing them. Minnesota and Illinois sue Trump over ICE deployments. Don't know what that's gonna do. It sounds like they're scared. Scared. It sounds like they're coming up with everything. No, he's a criminal. The ICE stuff, let's sue him. Are they afraid of the day of reckoning? The day of reckoning and retribution is coming. The media is calling this particularly unhinged. They're shocked. Mediaite, the liberal media, they're like, this one, Mr. President, it's too far. This is a particularly unhinged Truth Social post, they say. Fear not, great people of Minnesota, the day of reckoning and retribution is coming. Yeah, we'll see what that means, but hard actions, domestic and abroad, right? Cut the fat. Time to cut the fat. Imagine all this weight lifted. That weight is the weight of fraud. The dead weight of fraud and losers, right? Hanging everything up on programs, on welfare, on all this stuff. Scamming the workers, scamming the just decent people. That's how it works. You got those wanting to live normally, and then those that we've now see, we're seeing the evidence of. They're getting like crazy money, taxpayer money to Americas. You know, those decent, right? Just kind of living normally. The two Americas, you wonder why there's so much pressure and certain things in your life, okay? You're paying for it. You're paying for it. We'll see what happens with all this. Seems kind of like a spicy year so far already. Reckoning and retribution. Will people go to jail? Oh, man. What are you saying here? What's your question? Who is Minnesota in law? What's your question? Just pull the insurrection act on them, Trump. Minnesota's too corrupt. You know, he's saying, actually, since you bring that up, Trump is saying, like, if we don't win the midterms, they're going to try and impeach me. Like, we have to win the midterms.
Got to win the midterms. Because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me. Got to win the midterms. Because if we don't win the midterms, it's just going to be, I mean, they'll find a reason to impeach me. I'll get impeached.
I mean, that's for sure. They'll try everything there. They'll try everything. I don't know how that's going to work. Don't people not really care about midterms? Maybe this is going to make them care. They're like, well, we can't let them get impeached. Maybe this is the key to voter turnout. I hear they do not care. Yes, Nick, if they get the House, they will try. Jim in Alaska knows. I mean, it seems important, Mr. President. I wonder, I'm now that I've seen this clip, right now that we're in that headspace, we're thinking about the GOP. Does anybody else have like a sour taste in their mouth? Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about, I don't know how it's shaping up. How is America shaping up in the midterms? But I'm trying to think. Let's just think off the top. Callers who called me, I mean, I know this is, I'm thinking governorships right on. That's not that's not necessarily the midterms, is it? But remember, who was it? Rake was calling us. And it was like, who's the GOP running over there? Winsome Sears, some black woman who loved her rifle. I love the Second Amendment. I'm a strong black woman. Lost to the Democrat. How's that Ohio thing going? Is Vivek still running as a governor, Vivek Ramaswamy? That hasn't happened yet, has it? Vivek Ramaswamy's 2026 election, which will take place November 3rd as the federal midterm elections for Congress. Ramaswamy's gubernatorial bid isn't directly part of the congressional midterms, but it could indirectly tie in since Trump has backed him as a candidate, and strong Republicans showing across the board would align with the party's broader goals. So, is my commentary that pointed on exactly the midterms? I'm not sure. It's more on just the GOP. Should the midterms be kind of a bust or something? I'd blame us. Us. I don't even say. Look, I'd blame the Republicans, the GOP. I mean, it's just far too late in the game, and their knee-jerk kind of a move is to just avoid this like elephant in the room. This like their base, the constituent voting base of the Republican Party, the Christians, the whites, right? The English speakers. and they're just like hush about them completely. Just the structure, the decline of white people, right? The racial replacement. And then at every turn, them trying to shove it down your throat. Just it's this country is just an idea. It's just an idea that anybody who says they believe the idea can be part of. Anybody, it just doesn't matter. Which was a conversation even going back to the Founding Fathers. It's an interesting thing to hash out. It's kind of been going on. The Americans continue to kind of debate and discuss it, but Vivek comes in out of nowhere, and he's like trying to tell everybody, hey, Hindu values, they could be just as Christian, etc. I'm like, where's the limit? And that's kind of a separate conversation. I'm really commenting on the GOP's attitude to that. And it's just to like endlessly pander to that, shove it down your throat. Hush, hush. The moment you like say, hey, it's a white country or something like that. It's whoa, calm down. You're the issue. You're really the problem. And then fracture. So my comment maybe is more loose, okay? Maybe it's about midterms and beyond, elections beyond. I know that Vivek, for example, Winsome seats, those are gubernatorial races, right? So some of you politics heads out there know better than I, right? That's not exactly the midterms, but I'm just thinking about the general GOP vibe and the elephant in the room. That's the big taboo, which alienates their own voting base. I mean, it's just strategically wrong. So anyways, moving on here. They do that with women too. Any woman will come along. It's just, hey, I believe in conservative values. I'm a firebrand woman. And now she's like fast-tracked to governor or like some other thing or representative or who am I thinking of? Thinking of a few. But that's where these firebrand Trump supporting women. That's where they get like a fast track into politics, into some sort of show, something. Oh man. They're like total feminists on the right. And before I move on, before I like bring this up, I'm kind of setting up Elon in a fight for custody now. Speaking of feminism, even on the right. Carver, you're saying Dayton used to be half black people and half white people. But now it's like half Americans, half Indians, and Congo. I'm thinking, I'm going back to that Trump New York Times interview he did. And, we weren't able to load it earlier, but I just remembered what it was that he was criticizing about a particular ICE raid as bellwethers, so to speak, about what the administration and what Trump is thinking and what's to come. It was an interesting interview over Venezuela. There was one particular criticism Trump had. And it was over ICE agents targeting skilled workers at an automobile manufacturing plant, something like that, where they're making cars. And he said that he was a little frustrated with ICE targeting those skilled workers, something like that. Which is to say, he's making a commentary on like a labor policy standpoint. He's speaking on the relationship between illegal immigration and labor and the firms that want it, the firms and politicians and people that are benefiting from such a deal, and even the economic gains of such a deal. I mean, it's work that comes into the country that creates things, GDP, etc. And it really is a point of, it can even be a point of criticism. I'm just not, I don't have like all the numbers and data, which I don't even know if that's how Trump is operating. I don't know if he is like trying to pay attention to these things, but here's what I'm trying to say. Can we handle this percentage of Americans, of foreign workers And no, really, Trump is the best president on that ever. I think all those things can be true. I just don't know where the line is. I don't know. Here's what I do know. The number one, basically like the number one thing is the replacement of the Americans. I'm pretty sure that's like the number one thing. Through immigration, legal and illegal, the conclusion of which will be not America, like a different country, right? So at that point, what's going on? What country are we fighting for, or whatever? So, I mean, they say the first president, right, in decade, like 50 years, to preside over a net negative foreign population in America. And that's like, wow, right? But he is. That's what when he says that in this interview, when he's saying, "Oh, I'm a little frustrated with ICE targeting skilled workers," he's making a labor like value judgment on, yeah, you know what? We're keeping some legal / illegal immigration. I made some sort of value judgment where, at least for now, these can stay, etc. For whatever reason, I trust him to do it. I don't know where that line is, so I'm way more hard line about it. I'm like, the country is going to die. You got to close it up and kick them out. But anyways, I think Trump knows these Gen Z crackers ain't going to work, and the blacks, well, I think we know. That's kind of like, I don't know. Is that true? That's kind of isn't that a far too quick of a judgment? That's far too, I've heard some of that, right? Like, and you're putting that on Trump, which is like, that's not even, we don't even know that. And I said, they asked him if is there skilled people in America? I think he said no. Remember that? And I don't know. I just think it's all far too, isn't that too quick of a judgment? Like, try something different, right? Like, deport the illegals and just see what happens. Will people work if the wages change or something like that? I mean, isn't that too quick of a judgment? I'm not playing SimCity here with the resources. Somebody else's. But that's a little bit on all that. I want to get to my calls, 888-775-3773. And then in a moment, will Elon have custody of his child? If this is the judge, if podcast listener, you can't see. If this is the alleged judge presiding over the case, 1 in the chat if you think he's keeping his kid, 2 in the chat if his baby mama is transing that kid. They're transing poor Elon's son. If this is the judge, and this is how they decorate their courtroom, you're allowed to do this? 1 in the chat if you think Elon's keeping his kid. 2 in the chat if Ashley St. Clair is transing that son. Elon's son is cooked. You should be allowed to, if you walk into a court like this, that judge has a gavel in her. Like a gavel somewhere. Yeah, you should. If you walk into a court like this, you should be allowed to. There should be some. Are you constitutionally protected against this? Did the founding fathers think of this? Founding fathers, please, if you hear me, founding fathers, protect me. Because if you're walking into a courtroom like this, is there some constitutional protection here? Please, you should be able to walk into this and say, "Okay, where's my get out of? I use my protection here because I'm not. There's no justice in this room. The flag says it all." We got Ryan out of Illinois on the air. I appreciate your call. Go ahead.
What's going on, Anchor Baby?
What's up, Ryan? All is well, man.
Man, look, I don't want to give you the smoke I have for hate, but bro, y'all tweaking, bro.
Okay.
Y'all keep on talking about the blacks, bro. Do y'all not see what the fuck y'all white folks doing? Y'all white folks is
keep it a little
my
clean
bad.
for us, Ryan.
Y'all know what y'all doing, bro. Y'all tweaking out, bro.
Wait, what do you mean?
Y'all killing the country. Y'all making the country racist. Y'all putting everybody against each other. And then y'all want to blame it on the blacks. Bro, we ain't got nothing to do with ISIS. We ain't got nothing to do with none of this government shit.
Keep
we
it
probably
clean.
got about what? We probably got about 2 or 3 people in the government that may have a voice, but it don't trickle down to the normal people. So all I'm saying is, bro, why y'all so hateful to the blacks and got so much of a disdain for us when we ain't even the one controlling the world? Y'all people are. And then y'all always come back to an excuse. Well, the
So you
blacks
have no
did
contribution.
this. Bro, we have.
You're saying black people have nothing to do with anything at all?
No, we don't got nothing to do with all the hate that's going on. That y'all.
Do they have something to do with it?
Hell no.
Not even a little bit.
We don't got nothing. Let me tell you what it is.
Aren't blacks
We
in the
are
world, though?
product-
They're in America and in the world, right?
No, they are. Look, we a product of our environment, just like y'all are. But y'all product
So would
of
you
y'all
say that
environment.
you're saying that there's, so we're on the same page. You're saying that there's all this hate in the world, this racism, there's all this mess, to just summarize, and blacks have nothing to do with it. That's your claim. But I'm here wondering, but blacks are in there, in the world. They're interacting with people.
No.
Would
We
you
don't
say
got nothing to do with the racism.
they have their part to play in the hate in the world?
Hell no.
They have so they don't even, so everybody else has their part to play in the hate in the world, but blacks don't.
I'm gonna tell you one thing.
Tell me, yeah, go ahead.
Black people probably are more racist to each other than they are to whites. We don't really worry about y'all. We gotta survive in our neighborhoods. So it's not like we have racism towards y'all or racism for that, period. We just trying to survive out here. Y'all make it to be like, oh, blacks are racist because this is what they do once upon a time to whites. I mean, maybe, yeah, you might come across a occasion where something might happen, and it's a white and a black. But 9 times out of 10, bro, we doing this to our own people. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. But
so with that element which you are talking about, when they're doing it to each other, when blacks are evil towards each other, does that add to the hate in the world? Does that have its own part to play in the hate in the world?
yeah, but it don't got no hate towards.
So blacks do
You
have their
guys,
part
the
to
other
play
race.
in the hate in the world.
No, not in the
Just
hate
like
in the
everybody
world,
has their own
towards
part,
each
right?
other. No, not towards the world, towards each other.
But
Listen, we
doesn't
don't
that
really
add it to
worry
the
about
world?
y'all.
They're in the
Nah,
world.
not really. Not
Why-
really.
And how not? Because they're as they hurt and kill
Yeah,
each
well,
as they
then
hurt
that's
each
just
other,
like saying,
that
that's
adds
just
to
like
the net
saying that
negative to
everything
the
that
world. Don't you
everybody's
agree?
doing. Listen to me, little boy. That's just like saying
No.
everything that
Isn't
anybody do in the world
I may be
affects
I could
you.
be a little boy, but you still have to answer my question. If you
'Cause
doesn't
I'm
that add
answering
to
it right
the
now.
net negative to the
See
world?
how
No,
y'all
but you didn't hear
see
my
what you're doing?
No, but you didn't hear my
keep
question.
talking and you won't let me answer it.
But how can you
You
answer my
said-
question if you didn't hear my question?
You already asked the question, so let me answer the question that you already
You
asked.
didn't even
before
hear
you
my
asked me
question, so
another.
let me say it again for you. So let's
So
make,
you
let's
did
make
not ask the
triply
question.
sure. Let's make triply sure you heard it.
I heard what you said.
Well, let's
I'm not
make
stupid.
let's triple check.
See, that's what's wrong with you white folks.
Let's triple check. We'll just triple check it.
Go ahead.
White folk,
ask again.
white folk, check it out. Check me out, chat. I'm white. Us white folk, we
ask
like triple
again.
checking. Us little boy white folk like triple checking. Does the anger and hate between blacks add to the net negative of the whole of the world? Are they adding positivity or are they adding negativity to the world by hating each other?
It depends, because sometimes negativity is needed because we have done away with making people feel ashamed. And then when we don't make people feel ashamed, everybody feel like what they're doing is correct. And we need to bring that back. So I disagree with what you're saying. Yeah, I disagree.
I didn't say anything. I asked you a question. Why are you unable to answer questions? Grown man, big
You asked
big
me a
boy,
question,
big
and I answered
man.
it. I said no. It does
How
not.
did you get to this age and unable to answer questions? You said no? It does not. You said
I
sometimes.
just said no.
But okay, now you're saying no. Okay, I got you. You're saying it does not add. So how does hating, killing, hurting, and violence to each other not add to the net negative of the world?
Okay, so how does hating black folks, putting black folks down, making black folks feel like they're not a part of the community?
Is it adding positivity to the world?
Hold on. Taking all
I'm trying to make it simple.
Taking all our creations, harming our people, raping our people, pillaging our people, making our people less than, worse than. That's what makes the world worse. That's what y'all been doing for centuries.
Here, let me make let me ask you a much simpler question. Let me make the question far simpler for you.
So what we're doing is just
when they kill each other, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
It's not good.
Let me make it simple. When the blacks kill each other, hurt each other, like you said, they're doing it just to each other. Is that bad or good?
I think it's unfortunate. The same way.
Is it a good thing, or is it adding good to the world, or is it adding bad to the world?
It depends. If we murdering a rapist,
you can't answer questions.
Then hell yeah. But if we murdering somebody who ain't doing good for the community, then yeah, it's a good thing. But
so then they do have a part to play. And we just went.
If we're harming, hold on.
Go ahead.
If we're harming somebody who's a positive in the community, then it's wrong. Same thing you say for y'all. Y'all don't go around doing good. Y'all don't go around doing just things. Y'all don't go around saving the world. So quit trying to act like what you guys do is more better than what anybody else do. Bro, you just as bad as the black.
Well, Ryan, when did I say otherwise? You're totally mischaracterizing me. You're not even talking to me anymore. Listen to what you're saying. When did I ever say the things you said? You totally missed the whole point of what I'm trying to bring up. And let me just make it quick for my viewers. We spent too much time here. I'll let you respond totally and completely. Let me just say this real quick.
Go ahead.
The whole reason I'm even asking you these questions, the reason I'm even responding to you in this way is because I'm trying to point out how you called in saying, you guys just want to say that blacks are wrong. You guys are acting like you guys do nothing wrong. And you're not even listening to me. I've never said anything like that. I'm simply pointing out that you're the one saying blacks are doing no wrong.
I'm tired of hearing you. I never said that.
I'm here saying everybody has a part to play. You're the one saying blacks have no part to play.
I agree.
And that's a lie. I'm saying the truth. Everybody has a part to play.
I agree with you.
And you're saying blacks have no part to play. And that's the problem with blacks right now.
That. You see how y'all do that? I never said that. What I'm saying is everybody has a part to play. But what I'm trying to tell you is your part is way more than what our part to play is.
Well, what does that have to do with your part? What does everybody else have to do? That's the point of this whole thing. What does anybody else's actions, greater or lesser than others or not, have to do with how you're acting? How does what does that have to do with your behavior?
So justify why you care about talking about the blacks when all you got to do is be a good person and try to help the blacks become greater people.
Did I even talk about black people?
Why are you talking about the negative? Why are you talking about the negative? Why don't you talk about how you can help then?
The question was, what does anybody else's behavior have to do with yours?
What you mean? The same question you just asked me.
No.
If you don't, if you're not helping, then you have just as much.
So that means you're allowed to be bad?
Else.
So if other people are bad, you're allowed to be bad?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
That's my question.
But if
so
you don't have,
what does everybody else's badness have to do with you acting bad? Keeping it simple.
It don't, but if you're not.
So should you be good even if others are bad?
If you're not a human being contributing to trying to help at least make the bad good, then you just as bad as the bad, right?
But what does that have to do with blacks' behavior?
All you
see, that's
doing
the whole
is
point.
complaining. All you're doing is complaining, but you're not looking at what you did. How many times have you stole? How many times have you raped a girl? How many times have you stole from somebody? How many times have you done wrong? Come on, man.
But
you
Ryan,
ain't perfect.
You called me.
You an evil man just like everybody else.
But Ryan, you called me.
Quit acting like you perfect.
You called me to tell me things I never said.
I know.
And to then do what, and then you called me to do exactly what you said I'm doing.
That you're a hypocrite.
Ryan, you're not even listening to me, man. How about you call me back when you have a clear question or comment?
Yeah, because you know you're a hypocrite.
You're not even talking to me anymore.
You don't got nothing good to say. You don't got nothing good to say about nobody.
Question or comment,
you ain't no good person
man.
either. you're not a good man either.
But I
Little
didn't say
boy,
I was.
What good have you done, little boy? You ain't no good as nobody
I'm
else.
a big boy now.
But you wanna
drink my milk.
talk about people though. All
I'm
you
a
wanna
big
do
boy
is
now,
talk about
first of all.
people.
Second of all,
you
I'm a
an
big
evil
boy.
man.
Second of all, I never said
and God
I didn't say I was any
God
of the.
gonna
Ryan's
punish
not
you.
talking to me anymore, so I'm gonna hang up. But I didn't
Yeah,
say
I
I
know,
was good.
I know
I didn't say I was
you-
good, Ryan.
Because you can't win.
Ryan, I didn't say I was
Goofy.
good. He's not listening. Take care, Ryan. Call me again. I forget Ryan. I don't remember him calling me, but I like him. I like him. I was trying to keep it simple. We got Alan out of Detroit. How you doing, sir?
Yes, sir. How
Nice
are
to
you
hear
doing?
from you, man. I haven't heard from you since like that day the shooting happened. We covered it that day. You called me. How you been, sir?
Yeah, I guess it has been. I'm not bad. Yourself?
All is well, man.
Good to hear. Yeah, did you, I'm assuming the other caller's gone now at this point, I'm assuming.
Yep. That's Ryan. We had to let him go, but he can call me back another day.
Yeah, no word. I was just curious. So, I ain't even here to argue. I'm for real just curious. Your question for the fellow was, is what was it again? You did the thing where you kind of got hung up on one thing and you didn't want to listen to him. What was your question that he couldn't answer?
What did I do?
What was your question that you got upset that he didn't answer?
So the hatred happening between blacks, because he came and called us saying that why would we ever criticize black people? Why would we even ever talk about it? Why would they ever be even a topic when all the hate, chaos, evil, etc. happening in the world is because of whites? And so he said, well, see, the only hate or evil, I'm kind of paraphrasing a bit, that even happens with black people is only to each other. And so I asked him, is that adding something negative or positive to the world?
Right.
And he was unable to answer that.
Well, I said it depends. That's an answer.
Right, that's not really an answer.
Well, I mean, I can also ask
So let me ask you: does it depend when you are evil to your fellow man? Is that a depends? Is there a depends on that? When you're evil to your fellow man, is that sometimes good?
Yes.
Tell me how. Give me an example.
I think that in times of war, I think that causing suffering and evil can be good. I think that, I think there's a lot of circumstances in which, quote unquote, evil. Well, it depends on what you consider as evil against your fellow man. You think that beating up?
Well, how about what my last caller was talking about? The hatred between blacks, the violence
I think it's
between
a net
blacks.
negative. I think it's a net negative.
There you go. That's all I was. I mean, come on. Let's be serious here. Let's be just normal.
No, I think it's a
let's
net
be
negative
honest. Let's be real. That's a net. You're gonna tell me there's a depends on being evil to your fellow man? No, that's all. That's
no. Okay, I'll tell you. Can I ask? I'll say this though as well. I want to hear your thought on this.
Of course, go ahead.
I think that hatred in any form, whether or not it's against your brothers or whatever, I mean, I think it's not good for the world. If there's a world evil meter, it'd probably tick up a little bit. I think it is also very much a net negative though, to only talk about other people's problems. I think that it's a net negative in society for people to only complain about other communities' hatred and to just kind of skip over their own, and to always ask it's instead of
True
so,
saying.
I mean, you do it quite a bit. I mean, so what do you
really?
think that you're?
Give me an example.
No, not. What do you mean?
No, I said true
Well,
saying.
the majority, I listen to
and
a
then
lot
you
of your
said that
shows.
I do what you said, and I'm asking you to give me an example because you might be right. I want to hear you.
Well, you talk about quite a bit about minorities and immigration and them stealing jobs and replacement and all of these sorts of things. I listen to your show quite a bit. What'd you say?
Have I said something that was wrong?
Wrong, untrue, or wrong?
Yeah, that was that I shouldn't have said that. I believe I was wrong for saying, or untrue or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you've cultivated. I'm not saying this is necessarily anything against your character. I think you've cultivated a group of people that look at the things that you say as a negative on the community. I think that if you look
Like
in your
what?
chat, you see a lot of people. I don't think that they're looking for a nuanced take. I think they just want to hear you complain about minorities and call it a day because they think it's funny.
What do they have to do with me?
It's the things you say, man.
But
I don't have people in my comments when I post a video saying, like, these N-words are deranged, these N-words are crazy. Like,
Who says that in my comments? I have never seen that in my comments.
Oh,
but in the chat, yeah, they probably do say that in the chat. They probably say that. They probably say that a bunch of the
I know,
time.
but I'm just saying, like, I'd say that, yeah, I find it a little odd.
But what is,
maybe it's not
but what is them? What is them wanting
well, okay,
me
like
to?
the replacement,
Let
right?
me say the
I'll say it
question.
like
let me ask the question. What is an audience wanting me to say something have to do with me? That doesn't mean I'm doing it for that reason. Now you might think that, and it sounds like you do think that, but I'm waiting for you to give me one example of that. I'm waiting for you to give me one.
I'll give you a fantastic example.
Great, go ahead.
You talk about replacement quite a bit. The immigrants are coming to replace us. You said earlier, literally verbatim, legal or illegal.
Both.
They're coming to replace us.
Correct.
Do you know where that ideology started?
I'm not sure.
The great replacement.
I'm actually not entirely sure. For me, it started off just like seeing the reality, the facts of the situation. But you're telling me it's like an ideology that has some sort of root somewhere?
So it was a French philosopher. I don't remember his name. This was a while ago, for the record. This is a thing that's been going on forever, the quote-unquote replacement theory, right? It started off about I don't know, I can say things just without swear words, right?
You said what?
Any other,
yeah, don't keep it clean.
I can swear. No, I mean, obviously, can I say anything aside from swear words? Or do you have,
I missed what you just said. Just don't swear.
I won't swear. I'm just saying that this whole like great replacement thing started in Europe. It's not even an American ideal.
Okay.
It started in Central Europe. There was a French philosopher, right?
Okay.
He said, these brown people, specifically from Algeria, after they became French owned a part of Africa, French West Africa for whatever, they started taking in workers, specifically from Algeria, and then kind of opened their immigration policy. And this guy lost his mind about it, right? And he continued to just write about how they're coming to replace us. They're coming to replace us. This is like 100 years ago, brother. And then, you know who took that? Fascist Spain. I'm serious. I have a point to this. I promise. I'm not just trying to.
No, I'm following you.
Okay.
I think the point is kind of there. But
So I'm saying that this concept of like French anti-immigration led to nothing because they didn't replace them. In fact, it's still mostly white French people. And then Spain said the same thing. The Jews are coming. The Africans are coming. Worry about them, which led to an uptick in violence. And then you know what happened? Nothing. They're still mostly Spanish. Germany said the same thing. And then they had the little mustache guy who actually did something about it. And you know what happened? Nothing.
Nothing. Europe is
so
untouched.
My point that I'm.
Europe is
but
totally
my point
untouched.
That
they're fine.
No, not entirely untouched. To the extent
They're
that you're
still
saying.
the shining
This
examples.
is my point.
Go ahead.
This is my point.
Bring it home.
America is such a young country, and we've only gotten rid of this like concept of like segregation and et cetera. Like it's pretty recent in history. Like overall, like this whole area is going to be grouped together for the record. You know how we look at like the 1300s, the 14th century, whatever, right? Like we're going to be looking at this period in American history, this concept of like from post-segregation up until probably like 2050 in one big group, right?
Okay.
So my point is that in almost every single instance of the concept of the replacement, they're coming to get us, they're going to do this, they're going to do all these things. It has ended up being a nothing burger that has only increased violence in the short term, leading to absolutely no progress. And I think that it is a net negative for people to continue with this replacement concept because all it does is lead to more paranoia and fear mongering in the moment, just for absolutely nothing to happen later. And America is just going through its first batch of anti-immigration. You get what I'm saying? And I think it's a little naive for you to assume that this time it's real, guys. This time it's real. And it's like, I think, like, what evidence do we have that's real? America is one of the most protected white Protestant societies the world has ever seen. I genuinely will tell you this with confidence. There is
like a
0%
chance.
What do you mean?
Are you like? Did you? I swear you came out of like a time machine, like from like 25 years ago or something.
No, I'm just a history guy.
No,
I like reading this stuff.
Last time you called too, you were saying like, yeah, I don't know where you guys are getting this about like what were you saying? Something about like ICE and immigration. Oh yeah, that like
I'm saying
about like
yeah.
something about like black neighborhoods, and you guys are just so ridiculous to think that they would be more dangerous. And it's like, just open up your eyes, man. Like,
No, I'm not saying that it's ridiculous to assume that it's less dangerous.
You're saying what
Don't
is
say
the
that to the
French
audience,
philosopher?
'cause
Here,
it
let me
doesn't
put it like
happen
this:
anymore.
what is a French philosopher and a Spain and the Spain that fought about this and that? What does any of that have to do with me and what I'm seeing right now?
I'll tell you. You want to answer?
Sure, go ahead. But you understand my question, right? Like, what does
I
that
do
French
very much understand
philosopher
the question.
have
I'll
to
give
do
you a
with
very
me
concise answer.
seeing that? And you're saying this white Protestant country that will never change, who's, by the way,
No, but I'll say it
let me
later.
just finish. That, by the way, the generations after us are already minority white. I don't know if you understand this. Like, you're just like closing your
No, I
eyes
do understand
and
that,
reading
because
a
it's a-
textbook from
it's
like
a
25 years ago.
nuance.
The
No,
younger
it's what
generation
George
is
Wallace
already
said.
minority
So-
white, man. Have you seen
I'll
Spain?
tell you
And by
this.
the way, going back to
I'll tell you
Europe,
this.
have you seen Spain? Have you seen France? Have you seen London? I don't know where you're getting this from. You must be
Yes,
stuck
because
25 years ago.
immigration. All right, I'll tell you.
But go
I'll
ahead.
answer your question. Immigration is not necessarily a negative. And we found this in other countries who have started the anti-immigration campaign a lot earlier than us. And all we found is that at the end of the day, it's almost a non-factor in crime rate.
You're switching
in
up,
job
man.
production.
I gotta
No,
stop.
I'm getting to a point.
You're totally switching up. You
I'm
went
saying-
somewhere else. You're saying there's no evidence
Do you
that
know anything
immigrants are
about-
bad.
do you know
the
anything
whole
about the 100 Years War?
hold on. The point was you're saying that these countries haven't changed. That Spain, Europe, France, and America are still the white blah 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 that they were.
No,
and they
for
was
the
all
worse.
it was all drummed up fears that never came to pass. And I'm like, what reality are you living in? Literally, just
tell
look
you.
at London, Spain right now. So now you're going to something else.
No.
You're moving the
I'll tell you.
goalposts. Oh no, let me explain this to my viewers, because my viewers, they need some help sometimes. They're not going to get hoodwinked.
The viewers can just hear what I have to say.
You're saying
Nick.
that the immigration,
You don't have to
the
explain
there's
what
no
I'm saying.
evidence.
They can
There's
just
no
hear me say it.
evidence. Hold on, Alan. There's no evidence. Now you're talking about like crime stats and stuff. Remember, the premise was that Europe and America is unchanged by immigration. Please, you really believe that? Do you truly believe now, Alan, that America and Europe is unchanged by immigration? Go ahead.
Nick, my point is that it's not unchanged by immigration.
Thank you.
Of course, one person.
Thank you for relenting.
Listen to me.
Thank you for
No, but you
relenting.
did the thing
Appreciate
again. How is that a win to you? I'm not even. Never mind.
No,
Just
please.
Let me answer.
I'm go ahead. I'll stop. But
Brother,
thank you for relenting. But go ahead.
Brother, that's not a relent. One person who is brown walking into America technically changed the ethnic makeup of America. Yes. So yes, of course it's changed, Nick. That's not an argument. That's not a gotcha. That's not a good thing for you to think. I didn't relent to anything. First of all, I'm saying that you did that thing again. I mentioned that the other day. This isn't even an insult. Like, for real, I'm for real.
I'm taking it. I'm listening.
Brother,
to
you took the thing that I said. You said, "Oh, it never changed," and then I.
But
tried
that's
to
what you said, man.
No,
I'm not making that up. You said Spain. You said
brother.
They were afraid. You said they came up with some ideology called replacement, and they were worried about a boogeyman that never happened.
Let me explain further. The boogeyman.
Let's get that clear. Alan, you called in saying that, right?
Let me explain, brother. You called to say that I could just further explain, and then you could respond. But instead, you're responding to the thing that I said 5 minutes ago.
Saying things that didn't happen.
Brother, I'm telling you. All right, respond to this then. I'll make a better claim for you. Very simple claim, and I want you to respond to it. I bring these things up. Do you know? Okay.
Can you make it succinct
yes or no?
here? Go ahead.
Yes or no? Yes. Do you know anything about the 100 Years' War? Just yes or no?
Can we ask my caller? You want to talk to Zenny out of Canada?
Huh?
I said, can we ask my caller? Do you want to talk to Zenny out of Canada?
No, specifically for you. I'm just curious. I mean, sure, probably in a second. Do you know anything about like the 100 Years' War? This doesn't have anything.
Tell me
exactly. Because no, I don't need to, because it's pointless. It's completely pointless to this conversation because it happened so long ago and they resolved it. It had nothing to do with history. Okay. I'm saying that the concept of we need to keep homogenous groups. We need to have this idea of nationalism and borders. All these things, they're so new to the concept of America, because America is so new. This concept of anti-immigration, they're coming to spy on us, they're taking the oil. All these things are so new to us that in the end at the end of the day, it's all going to be grouped up in one big mess of nonsense. The same way that we look at Nazi Germany as one big farce, right? I'm telling you that in the time of that, the popular sentiment was the same things that people, unfortunately, like you, are peddling currently. And I'm telling you that, of course, you're not going to go and get the gas chambers ready. I'm not saying you're actually like the Nazis. I'm saying this concept of anti-immigration fear-mongering has never amounted to an actual surmountable anything, right? I'm saying that, yes, of course, the makeup of Europe has changed because of information. The crime rates, the concept of safety, the concept of things of that nature that you're worried about immigration, job security, etc., has not changed in the way that
again,
all
I
of
don't
them
know where
say.
you're getting that
So
from,
I'm asking you,
Alan. It's just such a strange telling of history, especially from someone who says they're such an expert. I really just don't know where. Let me respond, and then we got to get to my caller. But Alan, it's just such a strange retelling of history. I mean, now you're starting to say like these conversations are merely a modern machination when and pretending like the founding fathers weren't talking about it way back in the 1800s. They were literally discussing, hey, if we just go full religious freedom, are Jews and Turks and Catholics going to start leading the country? And then other founding fathers and people were like, hey, if the future America aren't strong enough to keep it how they want, and they vote Muslims in and all that, then so be it. This was discussed back then. I mean, such a strange telling of history. But
when was it discussed?
This was discussed back in the day, man. Look it up. Do your homework. I thought you were a history expert.
Not back. You can't say back in the day.
It was. You got to look it up, man. Yeah, I thought you were the history expert. But these were discussions that Americans were having from the get-go.
All right, tell me.
You got to look it up, man.
Like, what did you read? Like what his? Maybe I missed it. So tell me what did you read?
You got to look that these were discussions founding fathers were having.
But you can't just say look it up.
He's doing a source, bro, for me. He's doing a source,
brother.
Bro.
You made a claim.
They literally were talking. George, they literally talked about it, man. President A. Lawrence Lowell. Here, I got it for you. Oh no, sorry. Freaking the no religious test clause introduced by Charles Pinckney. This is back in the 1800s, man. Early America. They were discussing all this. I gave you the name. You can look it up and do your homework. Let's get to Zenny out of Canada. Let's do this real quick.
No. That's not a. But the no religious test. I do know what you're talking about.
So then you know what I'm talking about. These discussions aren't modern machinations, and they were having these discussions at the beginning of the country.
Okay, but the no religious test. This is literally the specific words of it. No religious test shall ever be required as a qualification to any office or public trust under the United States. How does that have anything to do with this conversation?
Because
they talked about religion.
In the discussions surrounding
I'm talking about religion being an inherently bad thing aside from like Protestantism.
You don't even know what you're saying anymore. You're real slimy, Alan. I want to get to Zenny though. Zenny out of Canada is chomping at the bit to talk to you, man. Alan.
Oh, he wants to talk to me?
He wants to talk to you.
From California.
Zenny, man,
hey,
you're on the air.
Brother? How you doing? Shit, ooh, sure. I can't say that.
You sound white, bro, but man, you are not.
I'm white as hell. I'm actually. A lot of people consider me a wigger, and I'm proud to hold that.
That's sad, man. This is the sad state of the white man today. You're literally arguing against your own existence. It's crazy.
I'm not arguing against my. I think I'll be fine. I got
one at a time, Alan. One at a time, Alan.
So let me just hit you with one fact off the bat. You were talking about the founding fathers. Yes, the founding fathers, through legislation like the Naturalization Act of 1790, explicitly established the U.S. as a nation intended primarily for white people, restricting citizenship to free white persons, reflecting a vision of predominantly white European-descended country. So that proves what Nick was just talking about, how they wanted the USA to be a white country. And let me just tell you another fact is that the entire world white population was 36% in the 1900s. And today, can you guess what it is today?
I don't even care. What is it?
Yeah, I know you don't care because you've been brainwashed.
No, I'm saying I'm not even arguing. It doesn't change my argument. So what is it? What's the percentage?
Well, I know it doesn't change your argument because you don't care about the existence of your race. But it's 8% today.
Buddy?
Whoa, I didn't know that.
8?
Yeah.
No,
it's gone down.
The world population is 8%.
Yeah, so you're a global minority now, buddy. And guess what's going to happen when you're spouting all this anti-white rhetoric and these minorities that are moving in right next to you? They love it and they're eating it up. And guess what they're going to do with it? They're going to oppress you. So you got to stop with this nonsense, man. You sound ridiculous.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Question for Zenny.
You ready?
Yeah.
First of all, where did you get the 8% thing from? Because I can't find it.
No, you got to do. No, we can't. We don't have the time to like
Yeah, we have time to
endlessly
source,
cite
bro,
sources.
No, I'm just wondering.
If you
I'm
really
just
cared
wondering.
about the topic, Al, you'd look
AI
it up.
says it's
All
true.
right, then
Elon Musk
skip
says
that. I'll
it's
skip
true.
that. I think I'll tell you this. I'll ask you this then, according to the topic. Do you think that immigration inherently? Do you think the minorities are inherently dangerous?
I think if they overwhelm the majority, if they become the majority, yes, it becomes dangerous for sure. If they're coming at the rates that they're coming now into white countries, is dangerous. And it has. And you're saying the crime statistics hasn't gone up. That is not true at all. In Europe, if you look at countries that have taken a lot of immigrants, like England, the rape is at an all-time high. Sweden, rape capital of Europe, and you look at countries like Poland or Hungary that haven't taken any or a very small amount, and they haven't had these giant spikes in rape or violent crimes. So you're completely wrong about that too. How old are you? You sound like you're in your early 20s, and you really sound massively uninformed about this stuff.
So you're saying that it's only the immigrants that are doing this shit?
It's not only the immigrants, but you don't invite more criminals into your country when you already have criminals in your country. It's not an argument to say that,
But we're not inviting.
Just because we have criminals here, it doesn't mean we should invite some more and they're foreigners. Like, that's just dumb.
No, but I'm not saying we should invite some more. If you're a criminal, then stay the heck out. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that the concept of Muslim entering the United States, I do not consider inherently dangerous. Muslim
it's dangerous when they try to take over
institutions.
Minnesota is not better because it's become a bunch of Somalis and Muslims.
We also haven't seen,
Minnesota
my point, brother, is that this is such a okay. Yes, we've been racist for quite a long time. We've been very anti-immigration. That's not my point. My point is that we haven't been this way. My point is that it's such a new concept, and we talk about it like it's some there's some undeniable truth that America was white. America will be white. America is under attack from the non-whites.
So you deny what Zenny brought up at the outset of his call? Do you deny that fact that
America
the founding
was
fathers?
White. It was a white country.
You deny that? You deny
white.
the fact that Zenny brought
so
up at the beginning of his call?
So was Europe.
What fact?
They were majority white.
Do you remember how he started off his call to responding to you, telling you the
Naturalization Act of 1790,
which explicitly
the Naturalization Act of 1790,
which explicitly
I know what you're talking about.
delineated whites, right, Zenny?
Yeah.
No, it was Western Europeans, which ended
what
up getting
does that
rolled
mean?
back. Actually,
what do you think Western European means?
No, reflecting a vision of predominantly white European descended country. Predominantly white European descended country. Europe was even more white than America was.
So what happened? So why did we have like an Italian ban? Right? Do you think the Italians are white?
They are now.
They are
they
now,
weren't back then, but now they are.
What's your point about bringing the Italians? I mean, I think we all agree that even they come in and change the country a little bit. Last time we talked, Alan, you didn't disagree with that.
I'm saying the concept of white/European/good versus bad to whitey changes with time, and we're so new to this that I think it's going to continue to change. And I think that the ideology that America was meant to be a white Protestant country is going to change, and I think you guys are going to get left in the dust. That's my position. I think that continuing this rhetoric that immigration is a threat to our country. I think that criminals enter our country. I think that illegal immigration is a threat to our country, without a doubt. But I think that the concept of lumping all immigration in with the criminal is silly. It's silly. We've done this before. That was my point. Other countries have done this thing before where they lump everyone together, and then, turns out it was all for naught. And that's my point.
And you know what?
I think you've never been to Japan.
Look at statistics,
you've definitely never been to Japan. I'll tell you that much. You've never been to Japan.
Have you been to Japan?
You've never been to Japan. You've never been to Poland. You've never been to Hungary. You've never been to these countries that actually have homogeneous societies. Yeah, I have. and you don't understand the level of safety and the standard of living that these people enjoy. You do not even understand.
The high trust society?
The high trust. You don't even know what a high trust society is.
So India is actually one of the most homogenized. India is one of the most homogenized countries in the world. You want to look up their crime and rape rate?
Hey, answer that, Zenny.
Ooh, that's actually a good example. But like everyone just knows that India sucks. And no one
China
wants
is
to
one
go
of the
there.
most
Or no one
There's
wants to
North
be,
Korea.
No one wants to
Maybe
be
you want to
even
answer that, Alan. Why would you say
Bangladesh,
India?
all
What's
of
wrong
these
with India?
countries, I'm just saying.
Indians
I'm just saying, like, all,
suck.
there's a lot more
Indians
homogenized countries that aren't doing
suck,
so
and
good.
whenever
It
they
doesn't have
go, they
anything
do
to
How
do
would
with
you
that.
answer that one, Alan? What's wrong with India?
They're just a lower quality of human.
What's wrong with India? They're fucking. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. They are not having fun because they're doing it to themselves. I'm saying that the concept of homogenization and anti-immigration is not what keeps the country good.
Yeah, I think they gave
It's
up.
working together and being
not
cooperative.
in India, not in Pakistan, not in those, as Trump would say, S-hole countries. But when you go to Japan and if Europe was still majority white, it'd be amazing and beautiful like it was in the early 1900s before the war.
Zenny, would you say that every person? Let's do this because of time. Let's do this because of time, guys. Zenny, would you say? Hold on, Alan.
Yeah,
would you say, Zenny, in response to Alan, would you say that every single immigrant coming over
my
is a
girlfriend's
criminal?
calling. I'll talk to you later.
Oh, take care, Alan.
He gone.
Anyway, Zenny, man, I appreciate you calling in. I'll finish that up, though. Would you say that every single immigrant is a criminal coming over is a criminal?
No.
Right?
Not
And it's
all
like,
criminals. It's
go
all
ahead,
about
please.
degrees, though. It's all about degrees.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like, they were coming over in small amounts. Now they're just, like, coming in every single way. Temporary foreign workers, students, legal immigrants, illegal immigrants, and there's no end. And it's just like...
There's no end, and we're at a point where it's like a critical mass that anymore, even if they're engineers and great, it's just like it's at a critical mass where the country's already changing so much. It's like pockets are there's not America. And so the change up of the like changing of America is now a far more bigger issue than the offset by like a good immigrant, so-called good immigrant, et cetera. It's like there's no room for that conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
in
thank you.
Canada, up here
Zenny,
in Canada,
you
it's
go ahead.
even worse.
Yeah, I just thought we could bring a little bit of what's it called? Try and meet him a little bit. He's stuck in his worldview. He thinks we're saying they're all criminals, and it's like that was an attempt to meet him a little bit. But Zenny, man, I appreciate you bringing clarity to that. Call me again, man.
Yeah. Have a good one, brother. Blessings.
All right, folks, we got to go. That's the show. But I got to give you 60 seconds. Gregatron, thank you for waiting so patiently. Out of the Midwest. How you doing, sir? On the air.
How you doing?
Appreciate your call, Gregatron.
Yes. So this guy, what's his name? He was yelling about, why are you talking about black people?
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan.
Yes.
Listen here.
You can call me again. Go ahead.
Yeah, listen here. So who's the ringleader for the baby mama culture?
Tell him.
Black people. Who's the ringleader for the no snitching culture? Go ahead, answer.
They're the leaders, black people.
The ringleaders.
Yeah.
And who's the ringleader for the F the police culture?
Black people.
Okay.
187 on a cop.
Thank you. So if you talk about them, you're somehow wrong. I mean, give me a break. These people are so deep into their black culture that when you and your crew talk about black people, they take it as a physical insult, like you're coming after their lifestyle, because they really believe that their culture is end all be all. That's all they know. So they're just, it's beyond brainwashing.
Yeah.
That's just their whole mindset. It's just black. And how dare you talk about our culture knowing that it's no good? The three things I just listed. You know what I mean?
It's loud and clear, Gregatron.
Yeah. I know you got to go, bro. I got to go to work, too.
Call me again, man.
All right, for sure.
Take care, Gregatron. And Ryan out of Illinois is calling me back. I'm in another day, sir. Call me again. You're definitely welcome to call me back again. No problem at all. Folks, that's it from me. No more American Anchor, baby. Until tomorrow, we got Black Excellence Wednesday on the JLP show. Okay. If you didn't have enough. And then it's Manhood Hour, the Hake Report, and more Anchor, baby. Take care for now. As always, a pleasure. Let me not get ahead of myself. We sometimes do these things too quick. Thank you, everybody. David, let me see here. Zyarg, who says Alan is his favorite caller. Shout out to you. Tado says Ryan is trying to say we was kings. Carver with the super chat says, Nit, please say Renee Good 5 times fast. Renee Good, Renee Good, Renee Good, Renee Good, Renee Good, Renee Good. Wait, did you just make me say a bad word? And thank you, Lin Yan Chin. Everybody, call me tomorrow, my callers. Take care for now. More American Acre Baby tomorrow. Peace.
The views, information, thoughts, and opinions expressed during this show are the individual's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of the JLP Network or Bond. Their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The material and information presented here is for general information purposes only. The JLP Network and Bond name and all forms and abbreviations are the property of its owner, and its use does not imply endorsement of or opposition to any specific organization, product, or service.